It's summertime, you've been enjoying your pool, but you might have noticed that the water movement is a little bit different than usual, that the pressure from your water return is different also. Well, we have the answers for you. We have Matt here, sales director at the Trevi store in Dorval. You're going to tell us what to do in these situations.
Sure. So the first thing you're going to want to look at on your filter is
Yeah.
the pressure gauge itself. You want to make sure it works. To check this, simply turn off the pump, and you're going to want to see the needle go back down to 0. If it doesn't, that means there's a problem with the actual pressure gauge, and you're going to want to get it changed.
How often should you change your pressure gauge?
We recommend to change it every year just to make sure you always have a functional pressure gauge.
What is your regular natural pressure? You have to know your pool, I think.
Exactly. Yeah. All pools are going to vary. Depends on size of pump, size of filter, size of pool. So there is no regular pressure.
Okay.
Every pool is going to have its own natural pressure. To test this, you just need to have either a clean cartridge or a clean sand in your filter. Start your pump. Wherever the needle lands at that point, that's your natural pressure. And that's what you base yourself off of.
And now that you got to know your pool a little bit better, is there a way that the filter will indicate us that there's a problem when the movement of the water is not doing anything?
The first thing we're going to want to look at is a low pressure, below your natural pressure. This indicates that it's not getting enough water to the actual filter, so there's a problem before the pump. First thing you want to look at is at the bottom of the pool. If the bottom drain is restricted in any way, leaves. Same thing in the skimmer. Leaves can collect in the actual skimmer basket. You want to clean that regularly because it'll create a restriction. And you're also going to want to make sure that the little skimmer door inside is actually present, because when it's not there, it could play on how the water intakes into the pump and cause the same kind of issue. Then it brings us down to the pump itself.
We're following the water flow now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In the pump, there's also a basket just like the skimmer. It can also collect finer things than the actual skimmer basket. And if that's full of debris, it's going to definitely cause a low pressure on the side of the filter. You really want to be careful with pine needles themselves. They're tiny. They get through all the baskets. They can even get through your pump basket and end up in your impeller inside of your pump. So you're going to want to clean those out frequently if it's an issue. And if it's really jammed up, you're going to probably want to take the pump and bring it into the store to maybe have it verified.
Now that we know what to do in low pressure, what happens when the pressure is higher than usual?
Sure. So when the pressure gets high, generally speaking, you want to look anything after the pump. So you want to look at your filter itself. It could just mean that your filter is dirty, whether it be your sand or your actual cartridge.
It's time to clean it up.
Time to clean it up. If you want to test this with a cartridge filter, turn off your pump, open up your filter, take out the cartridge. You can actually close your filter itself up with no cartridge, turn the pump on, and if it resolves the issue, it's definitely your cartridge. So you're going to want to clean your cartridge, and there's a certain point where the cartridge itself can't be cleaned. It just needs to be changed. This usually is between 3 and 5 years, but by taking it out and testing it, that's the way you're going to want to know. Sand filter.
Yeah, very different.
Very different, same principle.
Yeah.
Your sand could be dirty, so what you're going to want to first do is a backwash. A good 2-minute backwash takes all the debris out of there, and then you're going to want to run it again. It should resolve the issue. If it doesn't resolve the issue and it's still high pressure, you could also test it by putting it on recirculate. It's this function on the actual sand filter, and seeing if the pressure actually solves it. This means that the water doesn't go through the sand whatsoever. If that does solve the issue, that means your sand, no matter how much you backwash it, is creating a pressure issue. You're going to want to consider changing the sand. The sand has a lifespan of about 5 to 7 years, so it is something to consider every now and then.
Now that we know what to do when the pressure is high, pressure is low, it's really important to follow up your pool, see if everything's clean, no leaks, and when that happens, you will be able to enjoy your pool for all those hot summer days ahead. So thanks, Matt.
Thank you.